Welcome, Warriors, back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2. Thank you for all the comments and all the subscriptions and the likes. And please keep doing that if you like the stuff we're doing. And I'll continue to kind of answer questions and things from my perspective. A couple of different interesting questions and comments we've had that I want to focus on for this one. And I was going to hold off until I had 500 days to be able to kind of do a reflection, but a couple questions kind of provoked me to kind of want to do 475 days. So I'm going to do this one. It's actually 476 today, but 475 we'll cover, and I kind of give you a couple reflections and things of why I think things are happening with me, and that could help you with maybe what you're doing. All right, so a couple points. So the first point was talking about, and I think this is Ravi. And if I get your name wrong, please excuse that. I'm just trying to kind of talk about the issue you brought up, which was a very good issue, and talking about the fact that it's a little different in my situation because I'm 60, and then maybe from some of your 25-year-olds, and that's why 25-year-old warriors. And the thing is that you really want to focus on the journey you're having. Now, in my case, I'm the last person to talk about how to do it within your 20s and 30s because I just didn't do it very well myself. So it doesn't come from a lot of experience from me doing it. Now, as time has gone on, I can kind of give you ideas about what to do and what you can try to do. But it took me until I was almost 58 years old to figure out what exactly, I got the expressway here, what exactly to do to kind of keep on your journey. So let me kind of take it from couple of different perspectives. And there's always good and bad, I think, in everything you see. So we take a look at the fact that in my 20s, I struggled a lot because I ended up, having all kinds of, temptations and like a normal type of male between the 2 years of 20 or 30 years old, things like that. And I really kind of struggled with the whole idea. And I felt that this was not a good thing, that I didn't think it was good, but I was kept being told that this was a good thing, and that as a male, you should be doing this type of things when you're younger. Doctors would say that. You're there in the media, and you see all kinds of stuff. And I had no idea that I was kind of living in the matrix with a lot of the stuff that we're talking about. And so I think certainly when you look at this type of stuff, the matrix is something that is very prevalent. We see a lot of things that we think were a certain way and they're not. And this is one of those things that is like that right now. And when I look at this whole idea of, relapsing and energy, I did that a lot because I down deep felt like I would be in better shape if I did that. And that's why I was being told that it's more healthy to do that and let your energy go and your vital force go. Now, I didn't really understand all this when I was in my 20s. And it took a while to actually fully comprehend this. And even when I started doing the Fountain of Youth stuff, the exercises worked really well. I just couldn't do the last one, which was, retention. And basically, having celibacy. And really, the thing about it is that having kids and everything, I wanted to have a family, and that was appropriate at the time. But then as soon as I, had my last child, and, he was growing up, I wanted to go ahead and kind of look for the truth and things that I did. And so when I look at this whole thing is focusing on trying to say, okay, how can I better myself? How can I go ahead and find the best person I can be? And how do I live a long and prosperous life and a healthy life? And so that's why I focus on the areas of health, wealth, and the spiritual. And so when it comes down to this whole issue, focusing on trying to better myself, trying to focus on things that can better myself, this is when I ran into retention. But in my 20s, I thought I was doing that. I thought I was doing all the right types of things, and yes, I would slack off with food and these type of things, but I didn't really think it was all that bad. And so that's kind of why I'm kind of giving the message to a lot of our younger viewers that just go back and kind of look at what you think is really true. I mean, the whole idea, for instance, is after you let go of your vital force, you're tired, you're tired. And so that should have been an indication to me a long time ago that this is not necessarily the best thing in the world, unless you're having a child, of course. But the thing is that I did not really realize that, and now I do. And after being on this such a long journey, and I have a long, long way to go, but being longer than I've ever been before, I now see how foolish all this was that I was thinking before. Now, the danger in my case, being older, I know that Ravi was saying that it is, when you're older, it's a little bit different, and you're right, it is different. I mean, I'm actually able to control myself more because of experiences and things like that than I was when I was 20 years old. Yes, and I think you're absolutely right about that. The danger I have on the downside of it is that when I was 20, I did not have all the memories in here. I did not have all the memories of all that temptation. And so my problem has, and the things I have to avoid and always be aware of, is that when I'm on my journey, there's times where old pictures, memories flash back. So even if I'm not sitting there and watching something on TV or anything like that, I still have the image in my mind. And that's what if this affects your brain. And that's very difficult because now you're fighting with something inside your brain. And so that's why I have to go to meditation. That's why I have to go to all these type of things to better myself and not get to the point where it's really hurting me because of thoughts that I've had in the past. And that's the thing that you have to kind of avoid. So in my case, I have a load and tons of these type of things. Tons of these type of attitudes and ideas that I've had. And the bottom line really is as this, as my life goes on, all these experiences are there. Now I have to actually fight a different battle. I'm fighting a battle of past images in my brain coming forward at times and thinking about those things. So I don't really necessarily have an issue as much now than I used to when it comes to actual pictures, and I have the willpower with the actual people now as I'm getting older and longer in my journey. As the journey's going on, I'm getting a little stronger when it comes to people, and I'm also getting a little stronger when it comes to viewing images and walking away from all that. So I don't have that issue at day 475 as much as I had when I was younger and even up to the last 10 years. So Ravi, you're exactly right. It's a little different situation as you get older. You're able to kind of handle it more, provided you still have some energy left in the tank. If you have some gas left, right, I guess you could call it, some energy left. However, my issue is a little bit different. My issue is that I have so many past memories and things that are still there, I think, somewhere inside of me that will come out at times, and that will, push me to the point where, I have to kind of watch every minute that I don't actually look at, have a temptation and get into a bad habit. And so I have to kind of be on guard, and literally, I'm fighting kind of myself as I get older. And that's why a lot of people don't even try, because they have so many of these past memories, they don't even need to watch movies or images, things like that, because they have them all in their brain. They've kind of memorized them and have them imprinted in here. So you see them at times. And so when I'm sleeping, I have an image comes up, and that's something I have to watch out for, right? So in some ways, I need the armor, the suit of armor, the helmet, the shield against these vampires, against all these succubuses and things like that. That is not as much of a battle to me at this point in my life. But the battle really is kind of going back to images and seeing things that I don't really want to visit anymore, but they're still there, and they probably will always be there in some form, and I have to kind of do that. So yes, Ravi, I think you're right. You make a good you make a good point that when you're 20, you're in a different type of battle. Your battle really is what you're seeing in front of you. As you accumulate a lot of things, you get older, you're into 30s and 40s and 50s, now you're talking about energy and images and things that you've had that will still stick around you. I mean, you may be sitting there walking down a street, and all of a sudden you get an image flashing inside your brain of something that happened, right? Or some sort of temptation or something that you kind of succumb to, and all those type of things. And so that's the danger of having a lot of years behind you when it comes to this type of stuff. Do I wish that I didn't have these? Of course. I wish that I didn't have a lot of these kind of older memories. But that's something that I'm aware of, and the journey has been great at 475 days. There's so many advantages. The other issue I want to talk about, and I think that I appreciate everybody talking about my hair, that again, I'm at the point where I felt that it was so crucial, and I had a yearning to go back to the beard again. And I think I mentioned to somebody who sent me a nice comment talking about my hair. And if you look at my channel picture, that's an older picture from my first set of days that I did that started the journey, and I had a beard that way. And I also darkened a little bit and made it a little black and things like that, which I may do with this one, we'll see. But I cut it off, I shaved it when I actually had summertime. I didn't really want to get it hot, and I didn't really want to get a lot of stuff to the point where it was going to get too much hot and uncomfortable. And so I was kind of concerned about that part of it. But as I have gotten, when I got into that and I shaved it off, and I kind of kept looking at myself, and obviously I've done a couple of videos on hair and things like that, but I know you guys keep mentioning it, so I kind of talk about it more. But the thing about it is that I felt a yearning to actually go ahead and grow the beard again. Now, I also, because I've done some of the videos, realized the importance of hair, which I didn't always do. And it's almost kind of like a shield and a helmet for yourself when it comes to your immune system and, talking to, in my case, females and those type of things. So I tended to say, okay, I'm gonna grow it back. And so now I'm gonna let it grow for a while. And I know that some people around me are not totally pleased with that, but this is a decision that I've made. And I'm going to stick with it because I do feel a lot better, and I'm not sure if it's more confident or what it might be, but I feel a lot better about myself. I'm going to turn here, but I feel a lot better myself being able to have the beard. And so as it grows and the mustache, and we'll see what happens with it, I'm going to actually probably start growing my hair longer in the back too. Now you have to realize all these years I was kind of that clean-cut person that didn't really, have any kind of long hair, and I played football, so I didn't want to really have a lot of hair coming out of my helmet and sweating so much crazy like that. So I was really having a lot of short hair. And the funny thing about it now is I'm kind of turning into more of a beast mode, which I, it's so amazing to me with this journey being that way. But it's something that's really a benefit. So in summary, my friends, I'm going to stop here in a second and go teach some classes. But the benefit is the fact that you are going to have a lot of growth in hair. You're going to have a lot of confidence. You're going to have a lot of those things. You just have to continue being diligent as much as you can. Now, of course, you're going to, make mistakes. We all do. And, I've told you for years that I used to go back and relapse and have to come back and start again and those type of things. So I have the total much empathy, and I totally understand, how you're feeling about the situation. So that's something to me that is, understandable. The only thing I can really say is that as you're looking at this whole thing, the important thing is to come back and try it again and to keep trying, because this is right. It's just a matter of finding the right solution and the right way to be able to handle it. All right, so until next time, warriors, battle on.